Good morning, coders. Thank you for joining. Today we're going to be doing some CMS Tidy Up today. I got some CMS features or tickets, I suppose they are issues, GitHub issues that I want to tidy up and fix and remove. These are all legacy stuff from the move going from AWS Amplify as a static site into the SYMFONY site. So there's a couple of things that I want to do, because the SYMFONY site was primarily just the API as well as the CMS. Now it's the API, the CMS, and the front end. Well, no, the API doesn't exist anymore, so it's the front end and the CMS. So there's a little bit of code folder restructuring I need to do. Also, I want to remove the Lambda trigger that we had. There was this feature on the CMS where there's a button that says deploy, and when you press that button, it would trigger a Lambda function that would redeploy the front end in AWS Amplify. Of course, we're not using that anymore, which means I can remove the Lambda function, I can remove the that button, that page on the CMS, and I can remove the AWS SDK, making the site much leaner. So that's what we're going to play with. Let's dive straight in. I'm a little early today. It's 6:46 a.m. Usually these start at 7 in the morning, so I am a little early, but we got a lot to crack on with. This is the issues as they stand. Last night I added the course enrollment issue. There's not much to talk about on that one. And we're going to be tackling, it's these two. What I'm going to do first up is just merge this into one ticket, one issue, and I'm going to sort of rescope it a little bit with the AWS stuff. So this one is to move the CMS templates into a CMS folder, and this one is to move the CMS controllers into a CMS folder and rename the classes. What I want to do is just create one single ticket which holds all of these sort of issues, and then it can be just one PR just for the CMS. So yeah, let's tackle that. I think what I'll do is I'll move this one. I'll just grab you. I think that's all I added. I didn't put any more details into this. Nope, it's just that. That's fine. And I'm going to, let's, I tell you what, let's remove it. Let's remove that one. It's on the clipboard now, so I can just close the issue. And when we get back to it, let's get into here. Let's edit this. So, what type of feature is this? It is other. Feature details. Okay, so move CMS, and we're going to grab that as well. And I'm going to add. Whoops. Gonna add. Remove AWS SDK. Now, before this, we need to remove the Lambda deploy function. We also need to remove. I've done it again. We need to remove the deploy. Remove deploy page in CMS. And we're going to just rename this. Let's update that. And we're going to rename this to CMS Tidy Up. Okay. 2 words. In that case, the T. Okay, so we're going to move the CMS template into the CMS folder, CMS templates into the CMS folder, move the CMS controllers into the CMS folder and rename classes, fine. Remove the deploy page in the CMS, remove the Lambda deploy function, and remove the AWS SDK. Sounds good to me. Yeah, technical debt. Try and keep your code nice and lean, you know. I mean, it's a shame that I mean, I spent so long writing these things. But you know, like, yeah, I'm not even going to think about how long it took me to do all that. But we don't need these things anymore, and it's the AWS SDK I want to really remove, because that's not used anywhere else. And if I'm just carrying that with me, then there might be some problems in the future with package breakages, dependencies, and stuff. So if I remove the AWS SDK, I don't know what else would be removed that relies on. Nah, I don't know. Also, this is a bit of a weird issue, the deployment stuff, because you know, it's going to be deployed in a completely different manner. So this is a feature that just doesn't. I mean, I could keep it, but it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. So yeah, keep it nice and lean, clean and lean. So let's get into the code. If I can find the right stuff. Yeah, just reading the comments there. Thank you for joining, Hob Smitty. Struggle a lot addressing technical debt in my own projects versus how I harp on about technical debt with my teammates. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I mean, when I woke up this morning, I thought, you know, this isn't really a showstopper. I could keep all this in it, and I just don't use this feature. But then it's, you know, this is, I then have to remember, removing the AWS SDK and all their dependencies is going to speed up my deployments, because I don't have to install that anymore. Removing the deployment function, that's actually a security risk, having that in. You know, even though it doesn't do anything, if someone was to get into my CMS and see a redeployment button, that's not good. And these two things here, these are more refactoring, so just moving the folder structures around. And I think that this is just going to make my life a lot easier in the future. So really, in fact, removing technical debt is about sort of future-proofing and making your site and stuff more maintainable in the future. So I'm hoping that my future self will thank me for doing all this. That's the argument I'm having. That's the Lambda function. So these three files can go. Right, let's get this into a branch, shall we? Let's do that. So let's do a git. First up, let's do a poll, because I can't. Last night I upgraded the site to Symfony 5.2. Git checkout -b, and we're going to do feature. Actually, I'm going to say fixes. Put it in fixes again. And it is code. No, CMS. Doesn't matter. CMS Tidy Up. All right. Okay, so first up is we're going to deal with the refactoring, I think, because that's the testable stuff. Can you see here that we have a front end folder and then we have just CMS files? So I want to have a CMS folder and put these in, and then remove the CMS prefix from the class names. That's the first job, and then the second job is to go into the templates folder, which is here, and you see where we've got front end and then we've got loads of CMS stuff. I want to have a CMS folder and then all the CMS stuff within that folder, just tidying it up a little bit, making it a little bit more manageable. So let's crack on and create a new folder in here. We're going to call this CMS. And I'm going to just, is that for the CMS? No, that's something completely different. Again, yeah, that's fine. That's all right. Let's move all of this. My mouse, there we go. Come on, there we go. Move all of this into the CMS as it goes. And right, so now I need to remove, refactor, rename the CMS. That's not a good idea, Pete. That's not a good idea. Refactor, rename. Ah, gosh. Is there a shortcut key for this? Because I'm going to be doing a lot of this. So see, what is the shortcut key for rename? Refactor rename is Shift F6. Ugh. Why is it a function key? All right, let's see. Shift. Okay, yeah, fine. Let's just keep with that. Okay. Refactor, yes. Shift F6. Security. Yeah. Shift F6. Resource. Now this is gonna break everything, isn't it? Let's be clear. This is gonna just throw a massive fit everywhere. But luckily I've got some tests. Not a load of tests on the CMS, I must admit, but we've got some acceptance tests that go over the CMS that log in. So I'm happy to do these brutal changes and then run my tests and find out what I've broken. So this is the deploy controller that we will be removing. And the customer jobby here. There we go. Okay. Groovy. Okay, we can tell that that's not changed because of the look of this. See, course controller. Brilliant. Okay, so now I need to change the namespaces to have CMS like that. Whoops, like that. App. No, that is wrong. It's the other way around, isn't it? Like this. Okay, so because there's not a lot of you, let's just paste them all in quickly. If there was any more, I would do a find and replace, but this is fine. This is all good. Okay, just having a look at the IDE here, looking on the right hand side, and I can't see any nasties on the right hand side down this pane. You usually get like red lines of stuff. So that what's this? Complaining about PHP doc. Meh. Okay, I think that's okay. Okay, right. So the next thing I'm going to do then is it's this stuff. It's the renaming of this stuff, of the templates, which is down here. We're going to create a new folder in here. We're going to call this CMS, and we're going to grab all of this, paste it in here. Excellent. And I'm going to can I do an F6 on this one as well? Shift F6. There we go. I want to remove CMS, the prefix, from here. If I sound a bit groggy, it's because I've literally sort of woken up like an hour and 15 minutes ago. So had a quick shower. Had a hug with my dog, and then started screaming. I haven't had a cup of tea yet. So fingers crossed this will all work. Tuesday streams are always the weird ones because doing all of this work before, just after waking up. It's a good thing I'm a morning person. Okay, so that's all changed. That's all in the CMS. Now, if I just to take a look at one, it's looking for base, which does that base.html. I can get to base HTML. Is that base HTML? It is. Yes, because I can see that. So let's also rename this. Actually, no. Let's just. I've done too much without actually doing any testing. Let's let's slow the roll and do some tests. So first up, let's just create some. Let's just do make tests first up. This is going to test the PHP CBF, so this is going to beautify it. Then it's going to do PHP MD, do some security checking, do some code smells, do some PHP scan. So this is going to sort of find any issues that I've accidentally put in. I don't like it when it just sort of freezes at like 99%. There we go. Now it's going to do a validation of the doctrine. The doctrine mapping, that's fine. It's going to tell me the database is all in sync. That's good. So I haven't changed any entities. Lovely job. Then it's just going to clear the cache. Having these make commands, it's just so much easier. You just run one command and then suddenly 5 different things happen. Or in my case, 11. Okay, so the cache has been cleared. Now it's going to run cleaning up of the code sept. Then it's going to rebuild the database with the test DB, and then it's going to run the PHP units, which is 265 of them. Then it's going to run the integration tests. So these tests are to do with testing the database as well as some external bits and pieces. So this is checking the repositories and the managers are all sort of correct. And then it's going to do, what's this? Acceptance testing. Now this is the interesting jobby because this will be hitting the CMS. Okay, so I can see that I can see that Selenium is down. I bet Selenium's down. Let's have a look. Docker ps -a ps -a. Is Selenium down? Oh no, Selenium's up. That's weird. That's weird. Why is Selenium complaining? Can't connect to WebDriver at 192.168.99, and we put that into... Have I just stumbled upon another issue? Ugh. So we're passing in the server address. Let me just triple check that server address is correct. So let's do docker machine IP. Yes, that's correct. Okay, let me just do a docker compose. up-d of test. That is our Selenium test. It's already up to date. Okay, let's just do make test acceptance and just run that individually. Oh gosh, I need to do a make test clean. I don't know why this happens occasionally. Group manager file. I don't know what that's. One day I'll sort that out. Come on. Come on. Maybe I just needed to wake it up. It's good that it's taking long because indicates that it's actually working. These acceptance tests, these will these are end-to-end tests on the CMS. I've got a bunch of end-to-end tests for the front end. That's using Cypress. That's a whole different conversation. Because in the future, I would like to bring the CMS tests in to Cypress, just to keep it all in one sort of suite, if you will. Why is this takes ages, but it shouldn't take this long. Let me have a little look. It shouldn't take this long. Okay, that's not happening. Let's evaluate the Docker machine. Docker compose. Yeah, that's all failing. It's all failing. Tail -f of var log dev. Right, here we go. Okay, so we can see it's hitting it. Oh, we can see it's unable to find the templates. Okay, criticals. Let's, okay, these are coming out as critical errors. So I have a make file for this. Let's come out of this. So it's make log critical. That just greps the critical issues. We can see that some of them are working. So yeah, okay, so this one is to do with an unable to find the homepage. I tell you what I haven't done. I haven't adjusted these, have I? Silly. This should be CMS / yikes. Okay. That is an example of me not having enough caffeine in the morning and diving right in. Yep, CMS. I think what I can do, because it is literally that, isn't it? Let's see if I can do a replace in files, change, get the pattern, so it's that, change that. Oh, there's only like 3 of them. Change that to be that. Replace all. Yes. Excellent. So let's so that all failed miserably. Right, so I'm going to run it again. Just come out of this for a second. Oh, silly group manager. Clean. It actually comes up with a scenario. Actually, I'm not sure why. Okay, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to get better. And was that one that just went through? Unable to find CMS tutorial. That's on the tutorials. CMS tutorial. Oh, I thought I did a find replace on all of these. Oh, I see. They're all not all. Drink some more caffeine, Fisher. You did a find replace on the course controller and not everything else. Okay. Fine. Wow. Right, deploy, which doesn't really matter because we're going to get rid of it in a minute. Customer. And I think I've done courses. Yeah. All right, fine. Yeah. Let's do it all again. Do a test clean this time. And then do, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. It's this one. Yeah, so the CMS hasn't really got a lot of tests. There's only 7 of them. These are acceptance tests, and what happens with these is it's literally Selenium crawling the site. And what happens is the database gets dropped and rebuilt after each one. So these do take time. What I'm thinking of doing is moving this all into Cypress. Just because I think that's probably the best way to go. We won't do it today. It's a lot of work to do. It's just, it might be easier to have one testing suite that does both the front end and the back end for end-to-end tests. Oh, why is that failing? Oh gosh, it's the template again. Seriously? Unable to generate root CMS customer index. I thought I had just fixed all this. Customer index, CMS, customer index, which is here, customer index. Okay, that's strange. Unable to generate URL for named root. To generate as no root exists. Oh wait, hang on. CMS customer. It's this thing here. Is there something I need to do in my roots? Maybe. Nope. I thought there was something I needed to... Nope. So that can go. Controller, service arguments. That looks fine to me. Unable to generate the URL for the named root, as no such root exists. So this isn't to do with the template, it's to do with the root. So customer controller, which is here, app controller CMS, customer controller, CMS customer index. Okay, I think I know what this is actually. If we go to the index file, it's probably, yeah, it's the paths, isn't it? It's the paths. That doesn't exist anymore. CMS customer new. Yeah, that doesn't exist. So let me think about this. The name is, oh, because I've done the find and replace, that's why. Right, let's make sure that's correct. It's the ones at the top. Let's make sure that's correct, and make sure that's correct, and make sure that is correct, and make sure that that is correct. That needs to change. This one is good. Tutorial. This one's good too. Okay, let's run those tests again. Blimey. Oh, no. Come on. That's a problem when you do a find and replace at 7:15 in the morning and you're on half a cup of tea. Come on. Come on, output something, please. Either an error or a success. I'll take either one. It actually might be best if I use Selenium for the back end and Cypress for the front end. It's just because, like I said, yay, it's passing. It's passing. Just because of the back end, because of the database, it might be worth that. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at, read up on Cypress and see if there's a way that I can manipulate the database before and after each test, because the CMS needs to be, the database needs to be rebuilt. And if I was to do it all in Cypress, then that would be, you know, a JavaScript front end type affair, which is fine for the front end tests at this stage. But there might be something, because I'm running the acceptance tests through code exception, which uses Selenium, and because it's running through code exception, I can hook all the configuration of code exception, such as the rebuilding of the database and stuff, automatically through, which we've done. There is an error. Why is that? Is it because of the output of the deprecated notices? Yeah. But other than that, it all went through. That's good. Okay, I'm going to just appease myself and do tests again, just to make sure that we've done a lot of change. Just to run through everything again, just to rinse it all out, and just to make sure that, you know, it's all happy with that. And I suppose what I should also do is a bunch of just eyeballing it, just to make sure that I haven't actually, because there's only 7 tests here, and there's a lot more CMS features than that. And the reason why there isn't a lot of tests, unfortunately, is because it's only me using the CMS, so it's kind of like one of those sort of things. It's like, because it's only me, the risk factor is very small. If there was a bug in the CMS, I would just find it and fix it. It's not a public thing, right? It's just a tool for me. So my need for testing on it is smaller compared to the risk, I should say, is smaller than the front end stuff. The front end stuff, as you've seen, we've got like 270 odd tests on the unit tests, and we've got a whole bunch of Cypress tests for the front end. So that's all good. Plus we've got integration tests as well. Those slow unit tests that went through, I think they were up here. They were to do with testing the forms. And for that, I needed to inject the SYMFONY bits and pieces, some SYMFONY bits and pieces, so they do take a bit of time. These are actually speedy, which is quite good, because these are actually dropping the database. But hey, and then this one is what we've just seen, the acceptance tests. So that should all go through as well. Okay, whilst that happens, I'm going to get onto the back end of this and just do a little bit of a quick check. That wasn't a fresh one coming through, was it? Unable to find template, CMS deploy form. Meh. How to code well local. This is the local site. Why did that not come up? What's it doing? What's going on? Okay, I need to change the database. After these tests have ran, I'll change the database over to the other one. Because this one doesn't have any images in. Let me just jump onto CMS for now. Come on. Come on. Probably doesn't help that I'm trying to do two things at once. And these things interfere with the DB, so I'm just getting impatient now. And then once this is done, we'll work on the so we've done these two. We'll work on the deploy page. We'll remove that, remove the Lambda script, and then remove the AWS SDK. Marvelous. Okay, let's go to courses. Yeah, this is all test data. Test data. Yeah, I'll keep the database on, I think, because this is all just test data. Whereas the other one had beta data, so I'll not worry about that. So this is a CMS. I'm just going to do a quick click through. Say that 20 times when you're drunk. And I'm just looking at pages, just making sure that they're actually around. This is the thank you for following, Omar Oster. Thank you, Oster. Thank you very much for following. It's nice to have you here. This is the deploy page when we get to it, when this loads. Come on, how are these tests doing? Have we finished now? Thank you. Right, can I get on with my life? Good. Okay, so we've got an error. This is fun. We've got an error here, which is okay because we're going to get rid of this page anyway. Okay, let's get rid of it. Let's just get rid of it. I'll commit all these changes that I've done. So let's just get rid of this and do a git. First up, let's do a git status. Let's just see where we're at, what we've done. We've renamed a bunch of templates and we've modified the controllers. Nothing in there out of the ordinary. Good. Git commit -am CMS controller. Actually, come on, be a little bit more informative. Moved CMS templates and controllers into their own DIRs. Cool. Okay, I'll do a push. I won't worry about that yet. I'll do one big push at the end. Good stuff. Good stuff. So it's now the deployment page. We're going to get rid of that. So if we were to it's this. So let's get rid of the controller. Off it goes. Let's get rid of this. Off it goes. And I think we probably need to, if I was to refresh this page, well, let's refresh another page in the CMS. Let's do, I don't know, tutorial, for instance. We probably will have an error with the primary menu, I think. I just want to verify that. Why is it taking so long? Let me find it. Here we go. This one here. Yep. That one can go. Yeah, here we go. That's the deploy index. So if I refresh this now, it should work. What else do we need to do? I have removed it, haven't I? Yeah, so I've removed it from the templates. I don't think there's any other reference to it. I've removed the CMS thing here. So, yeah, okay, there we go. It's back now. So what I think I need to do now is, let's get over to here, click on, I suppose really I should just do another set of tests, right? Just to make sure that that's fine. And then we'll get on to these two bits and pieces. So removing the Lambda deploy function and removing the AWS SDK. So obviously we need to remove the SDK at the end. So this is the Lambda function. Let's look at it one last time. It took me ages to write this code or to learn about this stuff. So I even created an abstract means of, an interface, which allowed me to, because I had a lot future plans of creating different Lambda functions. This one is the portal deploy. And this is what I wanted to see. It's the AWS Lambda adapter, because this is an adapter which can wrap around different types of things, such as it doesn't have to be AWS; it could be something else. So I was thinking, let's just step through this Lambda response. So we get the response. We've got a Lambda adapter here, passing in the name, the payload. It's then doing this client invoke. Client is the Lambda client, which is where? Lambda client is off of the AWS SDK. Yeah, so my thought process was that we would create different, we shouldn't just be tailored towards Lambda. It could be AWS Lambda, it could be something else, and have an adapter for various different bits and pieces. And have a run function, which then is a wrapper for the invoke thing, because other things may call these different things. That was where my head was. And then we would have a response for each one, which is another wrapper. And we'd have a Lambda response interface, and we would have another interface for other things when they happen, and we would have another interface for the adapters. So every adapter would have get and set client as well as a run thing, and it would basically sort of decorate the internals. And then we would have different functions down here. This one is just the deploy function, which does the adapter run, passing in the portal deploy. There isn't any options that I need there. It's just, once I hit this, it goes off and does something. Yeah, I had big dreams for this. It's a shame to get rid of it all, but meh. Okay, I'm happy with all this. The acceptance tests that you can just go on and do your own thing. I'm going to remove all of this now. That's a good question, Omar. So, yes, I have been putting the previous streams, on the How to Code Well Archives YouTube channel. So I'll just quickly show you this. YouTube's. So this is the main channel. How to Code Well. It's gonna play. Stop. There we go. This is the main channel. And so we've got all of our tutorials, JavaScript tutorials, Docker tutorials, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. And then down here we have our archive channel. It's going to play. Stop. And this archive channel has the previous live streams. So you can see, like, we've got the, that was my birthday stream. We've got the, some things to do with Gatsby, all sorts of various bits and pieces. Now, I must admit, there isn't many, not all the streams are on here, but I am there is a backlog of streams that I'm yet to push up. So I will, I'm going to probably put out one or two a day for the next few weeks, just to go through the backlog. So yeah, that's that. That's How to Code Well, archive, and then the main one is, if I press back on this one, it's gonna play. Stop. Is this one, the just How to Code Well. Groovy. How to Code Well, all one word. Same with the same with Facebook, and Twitter, and Twitch. How to Code Well. I wish someone would teach me. Okay, so right, so we're going to get rid of these things. Now, this is probably going to cause a lot of pain for the unit tests, which is good. Off you go. Right, so we got rid of the AWS and we've got rid of the Lambda in here. Oh, actually, let me revert that change. Sorry, what I should have done. Yes, I want these all in separate commit messages. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do Git Status again. I like to group my changes together, right? So this change is specific for removing of the deployment page. So we can do git checkout. It's just like if there was ever an issue in the future and I needed to cherry pick a previous commit, I don't want to have my commit messages my files being polluted with other things. So like this here is to remove the deployment page. Remove, I can't spell, remove, and I'm being raided at the same time. Remove the deployment page. Come on, can I type quicker? I've only had one cup of tea this morning. Remove the deployment page, come on. PG, yes, that's it. Right, off you go. Oh, wow, thank you very much for raiding with 74. Mental. Thank you very much for raiding Strager. Is it Strager? What were you doing on oh, you haven't seen Symphony before. You've spelt that as in the symphony, as in the music symphony. Please say I haven't spelt the stream wrong. Let's have a look. No, I haven't. Whew. Had to double check then. So this is PHP. This is Symphony in PHP. Is the stream struggling or is it just me? It's probably to do with all the raids. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Right. Okay. So let's thank you very much, everybody, for joining and following. Okay. Right. Okay, so that was pushed up. The next thing is, like I said, is to remove the AWS Lambda deploy function. So if we go over to and we get rid of you, off it goes. And we get rid of this one. Wherever the delete button's gone. And I think that is it. I'm going to run the unit tests. We'll get some failures, sure. We might even get other issues. So I'm going to run the whole test suite again. Awesome, you are helping people with all sorts of programming questions. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Was it web development questions, or was it programming, like in general, the concepts of programming? Okay, we got a problem. Invalid service. Yes, I thought that would happen. That is, sorry, getting my things in the right order. That would be a service, which would be defined up in config, services. It's all this jazz, I think. Yeah, it's all this jazz, I believe, and this. Yeah, I might have to. Yeah, it's all that jazz. All that jazz and all this jazz. That can go. That's groovy. That's fine. Nothing wrong there. Okay, cool. This stuff, I've just remembered that we push everything into S3, so I might have to keep the SDK. We'll get onto that shortly. Let's run this. SYMFONY is a framework, yes, for PHP. Yeah, it's definitely solid. I've been using it since Symfony 1 days, as well as a whole bunch of other frameworks. But this is always the one I come back to. HTML. The last few questions were related to HTML and JavaScript. Nice. General questions too. Career questions. Yeah. So with this is building the howtocodewell.net website, and before it was in AWS, and it was on Amplify. It was a static site built in Gatsby. It has a CMS. It also has or it did have an API, because it had a static site, so it did have an API. But what I'm doing is I'm bringing it all back into Symfony. And these are kind of like the wash-up tasks. So yeah, we've got some failures there with those unit tests. I'll have a look at those in a minute. Yeah, so bringing it all back in. So I've removed the API. I've removed the AWS Lambda functionality for deploying the site, because there was a button on the CMS to then fire off a Lambda. To trigger a Lambda script that would, or a Lambda function that would redeploy the site in AWS Amplify. So that's gone. This is what we're playing with at the moment. So yes, it would obviously fail on these things because those don't exist anymore. Let's go into my tests, and it's in unit test, and it is yes, we don't have these anymore, so that can go. And we don't have these anymore, so that one can go too. Let's just do the unit tests for now. So test unit. Hello, Medgel. Thank you for joining today. See, this is an issue with a group that I don't know why this keeps happening. It does change this occasionally, and it changes the output. I have to run make test clean. I've got the feeling it's something to do with some permission issue, where it's not cleaning out the output folder, because you can see it's cleaning out the output folder here. Anyway, it's a niggle. Okay, hopefully they'll all be happy. Or happier. Looking good. It's looking good. Okay, so it's a shame when I'm having to remove all the code, right? Because all the numbers of the unit tests are being reduced. Like this was 400 or so. Oh well, never mind. Well, in its entirety, there was like 300 and something unit tests. Anyway, make test unit. That's groovy. Let's just run make tests again, just to make sure that we haven't screwed anything else up. So these run PHP CBF. So this is beautifying, making sure I haven't put any crazy formatting stuff in. Then the next one is the PHP CS. And then after that's PHP MD. And then after that, it's the PHP stan on level 8. And then after that, it's doctrine validate off of the mapping. This is just basically my sort of nice little audit script. And then it clears the cache, rebuilds the database, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's my little way of just making sure that I haven't broken anything. Untoward. Okay, so come on, clear that cache, please. So I'm not sure if I am going to be able to remove the AWS SDK because of the S3 integration. I don't think I'm going to be able to, unfortunately. Let me think about this. So in the services, we have AWS. Yeah, no, that needs the SDK, doesn't it? It needs that. So no, I'm not going to be able to remove the SDK. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. No matter. No worries. Is there like a strike through here? I can't find the strike through thing. I'll just remove it. Cannot remove SDK as it is used for S3 files. Okay. Cool. So this is the CMS. So the CMS has all of our tutorials and our courses and other various bits and pieces. For the back end, let me just see where we're at with this. Okay, so we've done, that's looking groovy. That's good. So we've validated that there's nothing changing in the doctrine. We've done a rebuild. We've gone through all the unit tests again. That's all good. We've gone through the integration tests. That's fine. So the integration tests here are testing the managers for the database, and then down here we're doing some acceptance tests on the backend. Okay, I'm gonna do get into here, and we're gonna do a Git Status. What have I changed? So we've removed all of these files. That's looking fine, and we've modified that. If I was to do a a git diff of config services. That's what we've removed. The Lambda stuff. Okay. So git commit -am, removing the lam. Did I remove the deployment page as well? No, I've done that in a different commit. Okay, so those errors are the deprecation warnings. That's fine. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think we're pretty much there with that task. To be fair, I think we've covered all of those things. I'm going to do just a quick click about, just to make sure that we haven't actually broken anything, like visual click about. It's all right to have all the tests in the world, but it's not going to capture everything. So we've got a list of books. This is just test data, so a lot of these things just will fail because there isn't the relevant data. And the I'll just spin up the front end as well, just to make sure that I haven't screwed that up. Come on, it's a little bit nerving that it's taking a while to load. Okay, that's fine. There are all the tutorials. Let's go to the course. All right. So yeah, like I said, this is just test data. There's no images here at the moment. I'll put the beta data on in a mo. I just want to make sure that this is all good stuff. Let's do an edit of one of these courses. Okay, yeah, that's not good. Unable to find CMS course form. Right. See, I said it's always good to do an eyeball test, and this is proving to me that I don't have an acceptance test for this. Now, if this was the front end, this would be a massive issue, and I would be, stopping everything and writing an acceptance test for this. But because it's just the CMS, because I'm only using it, I can kind of let it slide and just fix it. I know it's not a great thing, but I'm thinking about redoing all the end-to-end tests in Cypress anyway, potentially. So anyway, let me see if I can sort this out. This would be templates, CMS, it would be course. This is viewing a course, so this is show. And we're looking for no, it's actually edit, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, so this would be CMS. There we go. Okay, I am going to check for that in all of this. So we'll find that. So that's fine. It's the includes that I'm concerned with. So like this one. Yeah. I won't do what I did before and replace all the underscores with forward slashes, because that caused me no end of headaches. So I'm looking for includes. That's one. Where the include has an underscore. In fact, I could probably look for this, couldn't I? There's loads of them. Okay, I think it's safe to do a find and replace for this. If I was to replace that with that, just make sure I'm removing the ones that I only want to remove. That's fine. Or replacing. Replace all those. Groovy. Okay, let's refresh this page just to be 100% sure that that's fine, and then I'll run the tests again. When will SYMFONY 6 be released? And can I explain how to use PHP Stan in SYMFONY? Yes, I will get round to both those. Good questions. Give me a second, and I will go through that. Okay, I think that's fine. I'll run the tests, and then I'll go through it. Whoops, no. Make tests with an S. Okay, so SYMFONY Series 6, SYMFONY 6. This is a question by Omar, and I will just check the... I'm not sure if it has been scoped. I don't know, but we can check. There's the SYMFONY roadmap here. And if we clicked down here, there we go. So no, I don't think it's in scope. We're currently on. I'm running 5.2 at the moment, and then you got 5.3 here. We got this is the timeline, so it goes up to SYMFONY 3. I don't know. Manage your subscriptions. These are the maintained and fixed branches. I mean, 4.4 goes all the way up to between 2023 to 2024. This is the long-term stable job. So no, to answer your question is I don't know when SYMFONY 6 will be released. Not sure. Check details for past and future releases. Let's see if there's anything in here. 6. Check. Looking, no. I don't know. But let's do a quick Google, because now I'm interested now. So SYMFONY version 6. SYMFONY 6. SYMFONY 6 release. Okay, so it's in development. It's going to be released in November 2021. Shows how much I knew. It's going to be released in 2021, and it's going to end support in 2020. In 2020. Sorry, in 2022. God, there's too many 20s. Apparently. Can we have a look at the features? Okay, there's no blog on that yet. What about docs? I very much doubt there's docs. Nope. And what about the code? Nope. I mean, that to me feels quite early. I mean, you can get it in a JSON format as well. That's cool. Yeah. To be fair, I don't really know much about SYMFONY 6. SYMFONY 5 recently came out, so we're talking about well into the future. But really, I mean, I've got clients. I'm a contractor, so I know of clients that are still running 2.8 or 3 or 4. Not a lot of people are running 5. So, okay, Medgel is asking, can I explain how to use PHP Stan in a SYMFONY project? Sure thing. So it doesn't really matter what framework you're using in PHP. The setup is pretty much the same. How are these tests going? Oh, I'm not in the container, so the tests aren't going. I have to evaluate the shell. Sorry. Let's just get rid of this one for a sec. Yeah. Okay. That's doing it. All right. So PHP Stan. Okay. The way I've got it set at the moment is that we have we've installed it. obviously, in composer.json. It's in require dev, and it's one of these PHP stan. So I have PHP stan, the PHP stan doctrine, and PHP stan extensions installer, because I've got some extensions of PHP stan itself. So you would run composer require and then PHP stan. So it would be PHP stan packagist. So to install it, you would run this command. So composer require PHP stan /PHP stan. Okay, so, and I would do require dev, not just require, because it's a development thing. And then once that's installed, you can run it via, let's have a look at my my make file. I've got it, static analysis. So you would run this command, bin php stan analyze, although you need to make sure that the binary file is actually in the right place. So with my composer JSON, somewhere down here, yeah, I've configured the bin directory to be the bin directory, right? So it is in here. So by default, I believe this goes into the vendor directory and not into this bin directory, I think, unless you've got this supplied in config. So you can see that there is PHP stan here. So this is the file that is ran when you run the PHP stan command. These, by the way, these are all just symlinks back to the vendor directory. These will live in here, I think, somewhere in here. There's a bin directory. It might even be for each particular one. Somewhere in here. Meh. Yeah, so these go back to wherever those live. So I just like having all of this in the root, because I've got my own scripts in here too. Okay, so once you've got that running, it's a case of running PHP stan. It's that this command here, bin PHP stan, and then analyze. And what I've got is a PHP stan config file, which is down here. PHP stan. You have to put it in the root directory. PHP stan.neon. If I open this up, you can configure it using parameters. So you can see here that we've got like some doctrine configuration. You can set the level, so it has different levels of intensity in which it checks. So in this case, it's checking on level 8, which I believe is the highest. And then you can you define the paths, of the things that you want to look for. If you want to include an autoloader file, you can do so, and then you've got some various options. If you want to ignore anything, right, you would put it down in your ignore errors section. And if you want to exclude anything, then you would have exclude analyze. So for instance, we're excluding all the migrations, because if I showed you here, in here in our migrations, these are all the database migrations that automatically get generated via doctrine. If I was to just bring one up, for instance, this is not going to be acceptable for PHP stan one bit. So there are various things that you can do. Well, there's this thing you can do to ignore using a glob like that. What else have I got? Generic classes for non-generic object types. Yeah, lots of various different switches on and off stuff that you can play with. But I like doing everything in make files, right? So we've got the static analysis, which runs the PHP stan. And then at the bottom here, right at the bottom, we've got a bunch of sort of global commands that run multiple applications. So for example, we've got the make tests command that I've been doing quite a bit on the stream. It will run code style, security, mess detector, static analysis, entity validate, clearing of the cache, cleaning of the test suite. It will rebuild the database for the test. It will then run the unit test, the integration test, and the acceptance test. So it's just a way of sort of parceling all of these sort of scripts together. It's great for like CI/CD stuff. CI, continual integration, because you can run this sort of every time you do a merge in. And I've got various other things in here too, like installing various things. So build up, doing the vendor installation, restoring the test database, and then installing the CMS Webpack stuff. And just various different commands here. This has grown hugely. So I hope that helps explain PHP Stan. I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent then with everything else, but I hope that explains how you would install and use PHP Stan in a Symfony project. It doesn't really matter if it's a Symfony project or a Laravel project, to be fair. Okay, how are these tests going? They're all good. Excellent. Okay. Let's just do another eyeball. Let's say, for example, I want to create a new course. I tell you what, a good one to check is the if I clicked on view, so these are all the courses that I've done in of course this is test data, not beta data. It's not going to have many things in here. I might just switch the database just so I've got something else to look at. Yeah, the tutorials aren't in, which is a shame. But anyway, that page works. I'm going to just do a git commit, and we're going to put in changing template paths. Okay, I'm going to do a git push of origin fixes CMS Tidy Up. Good stuff. And then we're going to go into here, and I'm going to do a pull request. Compare and pull. And we're going to change the base to be our rebuild branch. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. All those things. Let's just do a quick review. Files changed, 45. Just make sure there isn't anything. These are all deleted. That changes all of this stuff. That's good. I'm just giving it a quick sort of check. That looks good to me. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Renaming of the files, changing of the templates. Nothing is jumping out as an issue. Yep. More deletions. What's this? Oh yeah, that's changing of the removing the deploy stuff. More deletions. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to Convo. Merge it in. Good. So that that clears that out. I should have done fixes and closes and all that jazz, but I didn't. Okay, let's now do a git checkout of develop rebuild. Let's do a git poll. And I'm going to put in make db restore prod. It's not production data. It's just I've just named it prod. it's just beta data. That's fine. So if I was to now go to the front end and refresh the page, we should hopefully see the courses. Come on. Cool. And if we went to view all courses, we should see all the courses in their finery. And if I was to click on one of these, like Docker for Beginners, for instance, choose one of those. And we should see all of our things here, and we've got the markdown file being pulled through as well. There's an issue with this with the Prism. It needs to have Prism.js installed. But that's looking fine, and we can change up the tutorials. Good. There's also an issue here that I need to sort with the header thing. I might do that actually as a quick win. Yeah. Let's change our focus to do this. So this bug is, I think we've got the bug defined. Header menu, bottom cutoff. There we go. So click on here. Let's go to the one that it says that we've got the problem with. Notice the bottom, off you go. The bottom margin of the header menu is cut off. So it's that, yeah. So if I was to click on another one, like let's say pricing, for instance. We can see that there's better margin going on here, but it gets removed there. So this is probably a tailwind issue. Let's do a git checkout -b of fixes. Let's put in header margin. We might be able to see it through Web Inspector. It's not overlapping. It's odd because it's it works okay on the other pages, so it's like there's something wrong specifically with that one page. I'm wondering if it's if the container is not correct. So the thing below it. So we've got main and then text gray, flex grow. Above we've got the header. So let's compare that with this. So we've got, go straight into there. Then we've got the header, P4, and then we've got main. that looks fine. So page container, flex col min h screen. Page container flex col min h screen. Okay. Then this one we've got bg how to code well p4. bg p4. Yep, that looks good to me. All right. So then we've got text gray 300 flex grow. Text gray 300 flex grow. Yep, that's all good stuff. So then it must be a problem then, because if the parent containers are okay, it must be a problem with the particular header, which is weird because the header is the same for all the other. It's the same. Like it's not different code. Let's have a look. Let's take me to the templates. Take me to the templates. Where are the templates? Outside of SRC, of course they are. And it is front end. It is course. Is it the main course page? Or is it a tutorial page? That's a tutorial page. A lessons page. This page. Right. Oh, look, we're minusing 4 here. That might be it. That might be the problem. And that will be running in, yes, I reckon it's this. Let me get rid of this one. There we go, that's better. There we go, it's just this. See, something I miss from going from Gatsby to Symfony is the hot reloading. I suppose I could have just done watch. Okay, so yeah, that's not really an argument, is it? Anyway, that's better. Let's just check how it looks when we scroll and take it down. Okay. Okay, I think that's fixed. That was a quick win. It was just that one file, yep. Fixing header margin on lesson page. Oops. Git push origin fixes header margin. And make sure that it goes in again. So issues, pull requests. Pull requests. Come on. Compare and pull. Make sure the base is changed. And the reason why I changed my base is because we have the Gatsby stuff still running, right? In its own branch. So I've basically forked off the code flow. So we've got develop, which is all the old stuff, and then we've got develop rebuild, which is the new stuff. And so any changes to this kind of sprint of work, I suppose you would call it, goes into the develop rebuild, which means that if there's anything in the future that I need to, or any hotfixes I need to do on the live site, I would just do those in the other sort of fork and then port them across. Anywho, and then the idea is that once I've fixed all of these issues, the develop rebuild branch will override the develop branch, and I'll remove that. I'll replace it. I also need to get these Circle CI things fixed. They're complaining at the moment. That's probably just going to take a weekend of just staring at the screen and working through the Circle CI configuration and documentation. Okay. So we're now down to single figures, which is nice. Let's close this off. Hey, thank you very much for following. Gosh, your username is tricky. Is it Alessandra? I don't know, probably not. Thank you very much for following, though. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hassan. Okay. Cool. Thank you. It's very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. Let's close this off. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yay, we're in single figures. Woo! Okay, so we've got various other things to do. Course enrollment, I've sort of scoped that out last night. Syntax highlighting, I've mentioned, needs to be fixed on the Prism.js. I'm not too sure. I did try and do that before, and I was getting no luck. But it still needs to happen. And then we've got some 404 pages to tidy up. So the GoPro button needs to take you to a coming soon page. At the moment, it just goes to 404 page. The live page is still not showing on the embedded Twitch stream. Yeah, I don't know why. That's a problem. That needs to be solved. The forgotten password. These are all tests. So these are all acceptance tests that I need to write for these things. So password verification, forgotten password, page errors, page not found errors, and then this one, which was our original one we wanted to do for this particular Q1, is the social sign-in. And then I decided to change from using Gatsby to going straight into SYMFONY, so I put that one on hold. So apart from I have a cough, excuse me. So what we do, that's a very good question, Hassan, is it Hassan or Hassan? Hassan. What we do is we build the howtocodewell.net website. So if I go to here, how to code well, this is the live site. The live site is a static site. So it's that water went down the wrong way. This is a static site. It's built in Gatsby. So this is live, howtocodewell.net. It's a static site. It's deployed on AWS Amplify. It has an API behind it, and the CMS as well that you've just seen. And what I'm doing, so this by the way is, so I have a YouTube channel called How to Code Well, and I teach code. I teach programming and as a sort of a side hustle, I suppose you would call it, because I'm a contractor by day. Code teacher by night, like a crazy Batman. So these are all of the courses that I've done. So these are all the courses that I've created on YouTube as YouTube playlists. And the idea of this site is to bring in sort of have an early sort of an e-learning platform, if you will. So the live site is very limited in what you can do. At the moment, when you click on these, it's just going to take you off to the YouTube playlists. So, for example, if you wanted to learn Docker, you would click on this, and it will take you to the YouTube playlist of all the Docker tutorials. But what I'm doing here is, instead of what I'm doing in the next sort of iteration of this, is to have a user account. So on the live site, if I clicked on login, it's going to take you to this coming soon page, right? So you put in your email address, and you just get added to the newsletter, and then I'll let everybody know once the features that I'm going to show in a minute are live. If I went to the local site, which is here, we have. So this is the local site, the one I'm developing. We have the facility to, once this loads, to log in. Now I'm bringing all this into SYMFONY, so this is no longer going to be on Gatsby. It's all going to be in SYMFONY. So I've removed the API and created the twig templates for the front end and everything. And it has the facility to log in. So let me log in with a known test. I think that's right. A known test account. I hope that's right. I think that's right. We'll find out in a minute. Yes. All right. So obviously this stuff isn't on the live site at all. This is just me. This is running through test data. So the idea is that you would log in, you would have your own account, you would enroll to the courses that you've seen, you would be able to update your profile and your security details. All of these features are stuff that I'm yet to build. So if I was to click on the profile, for instance, it would just come up with a coming soon sort of page. But the idea is that in the future, with the social sign-on and stuff, I want people to have their own avatars and, their own bios and, connect to GitHub, because some of the courses that I have and will have definitely have in the future will have code examples that you can fork in GitHub. So I think having a social login with GitHub would be great. But anyway. Another feature that is not live yet is the actual courses. So as I showed you beforehand, when we clicked on a course and clicked on one of these, it will go straight to YouTube, right? So a new feature is, if I was to click on Docker for Beginners again, we actually have a player involved. So we've got the enrollment page that I need to tart up. And then we have the actual page here that you can go through your tutorial, the tutorials on the right hand side, and then you can there's some code notes, which are all open source code notes. Down here, and then there'll hopefully be a transcript in the future as well. These are just markdown files that I pulled in. Yeah. And there's going to be like various different features in the future. Like I'm going to be attaching Elasticsearch to this to allow for people to search for particular content, like if I was to mention a function name or method name or something in one of these tutorials, because there's a transcript because there will be a transcript behind each tutorial, I can push the transcripts as well as the code notes, which are down here, and the course descriptions and the tutorial descriptions, tutorial names and all that into Elasticsearch. And so I'm thinking, like, on the homepage, you would have a search thing, where you would type in, say, maybe just a function name, and it would come up with the relevant tutorial in which I mentioned it, or something. I don't know. I've got loads of ideas and plans for this in the future. I also want to have multiple accounts as well. So at the moment, I'm working on the free account. So that's when you watch the videos embedded straight from YouTube. But in the future, I want to have premium courses where they're not on YouTube. To access them, you have to have a premium account, which will be on a subscription-based stuff. And there'll be other benefits as well, like downloading the code from a private repo, and having, the ability to comment and all of that stuff, maybe in the future. So I've got a whole list of potential things that I want to do. So this is what I do on this Twitch stream. I just build it, and yeah. Thank you for saying that. That's very nice. That's very nice to hear. It's good that I just like doing it. It's a good it's a good way to contain all the courses, because the thing is, if you look for a particular tutorial on YouTube, you'll just see that one video, and it's very difficult to work out whether that video is actually part of a fully fledged course. YouTube isn't really good for educational learning in that regard. It's kind of very throwaway in the sense of you would just watch this one tutorial and not worry about whether that's part of a particular long course. Whereas what I want to do is actually have a journey. There are people have been mentioning on Discord in the suggestions channel about having like 100 days of PHP, a course on 100 days of PHP or something else like that. That would be excellent if we had this platform, and you would have on the right hand side here 100 different tutorials, and each tutorial would just basically come off of the back of the other one. That would be nice. And also with the premium, you made a good point there about the tutorials. Some tutorials on YouTube are outdated. With the premium tutorials, I want to keep them updated and keep them progressing with the changes of. So if it was a tutorial that was specifically about a framework, and the framework changes, I would like to redo that course. There's less desire to do that with a free course that's on YouTube. It's kind of like set and forget. But when you're talking about courses where people actually pay for those things, then you've got more of a need to keep that course updated. So it might be that we only have like a handful of premium courses that are just so good, that are really, really good, that have different variations and iterations. In the future, I haven't really wrapped my head around how to do the premium stuff yet, but another thing with the premium stuff that I definitely want to do is push the free courses to a hosting platform that I pay for, that will not offer any adverts. So with a premium user, you would have access to all the free content without any adverts as well, because the YouTube adverts are just annoying. When you're trying to learn to code and you get a pop-up or something, it just gets so frustrating, and I always seem to get the same silly advert every time. Anyway, it's 8:28. We've done loads today. We've tidied up the content management system, and we fixed that header margin thing. We've still got a lot to do, and I'll be back on Sunday to hopefully wrap a lot of this stuff up. I do this in the evenings as well, so hopefully some of these will disappear as I work throughout the week. But I'm going to be live again on Thursday evening on YouTube, How to Code Well. So youtube.com/howtocodewell. It's the podcast. And I'll be answering questions live on YouTube on Thursday evening at 8 p.m. GMT in the UK. So I'm going to crack on with the rest of my day. I'm a PHP contractor, so I'm going to get some breakfast and then get started. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining. It's been great having you all. Thank you also to is it pronounced Strager for doing the raid earlier. That was brilliant. Thank you. I appreciate that. And for all of your great questions. Happy coding, everybody, and I'll see you on YouTube on Thursday, if not here on Sunday at 14:30 GMT. Take care, everybody. Stay safe and be kind to each other. Cheers. Bye-bye.